Welcome back, Culers. FC Barcelona are once again making major headlines, and today's update is nothing short of explosive. From the financial bombshell surrounding Marc-Andre Ter Stegen's contract to Ousmane Dembélé's reaction to the ongoing chaos, Marcus Rashford is already inspiring the youth. Oriol Romeu is on the verge of a contract termination, and former Barca player Jeffren Suarez has a warning about Lamine Yamal that you cannot miss. Stick around as we break down all the shocking behind-the-scenes developments from Camp Nou that are shaking the club to its core. This is must-watch content for every Barca fan. An insight into the kind of financial outlay which would be required on the part of the Barcelona board to terminate the contract of Marc-Andre Ter Stegen has been forthcoming online. According to Diario Sport, it's currently very unlikely that Barcelona will terminate Marc-Andre Ter Stegen's contract. The German goalkeeper has been all over the headlines in Spain after reportedly refusing to sign off on his medical report following recent back surgery. This refusal has caused a major issue for the club, as it prevents them from using the salary space opened up by his injury to register new summer signings with La Liga. In short, Ter Stegen's standoff with the club is creating serious complications for Barcelona's transfer activity. This marks just the latest development in what has long marked a tense back and forth between club and player. So serious has the situation become, that it has even been suggested that the Camp Nou brass could seek out the termination of Ter Stegen's contract. As alluded to above, however, as things stand, any such route looks unlikely. As per a report from Sport, Ter Stegen has a contract until June 2028. 3 more seasons, and the German is not willing to forgive a single euro of what he has signed. Therefore, if the club wanted to break the contract unilaterally, it should pay him the full amount agreed, a figure estimated at about 42 million euros gross. A considerable contingent of the first team setup at La Liga giants Barcelona opted against taking the day off training on Wednesday. That's according to Gigantes, who have provided an insight into the latest developments behind the scenes at the Ciutat Esportiva Joan Gamper. Barcelona's squad have been afforded a couple of days of well-earned rest this week, following the conclusion of their pre-season tour of Asia. This comes ahead of a return to action this weekend, in a Joan Gamper Trophy meeting with Serie A outfit Como. With the 2025-26 campaign fast approaching, however, a group of 7 players opted to report to the Blaugrana's training base for individual sessions on Wednesday morning. That's according to Gigantes, who, after it was originally reported that Gavi and Ferran Torres were the only players in attendance, have since confirmed that all of Andreas Christensen, Oriol Romeu, Rooney Bargi, Rafinha and Fermin Lopez were spotted at the Ciutat Esportiva too. El defensa del Barça ha sido uno de los futbolistas que se ha dejado ver por la Ciutat Esportiva en su día libre. Christensen, Oriol Romeu, Ferran, Bargi, Rafinha, Gavi y Fermin mañana regresan los entrenamientos con una doble session. Marcus Rashford has been at Barcelona for less than a month but is already making a big impression at the club. The 27-year-old forward has arrived on loan from Manchester United with an option for a permanent purchase and has hit the ground running. The Englishman's physical condition has made an impression, while he has also looked good on the field, even scoring in the friendly against Tegu SC. Barcelona youngsters in awe of Rashford. Now, according to Sport, Rashford's arrival at FC Barcelona has been special for many of the club's youngsters, who now share a dressing room with someone they once idolized. For example, Gil Fernandez has named him as one of his childhood heroes, his go-to player on FIFA. When Rashford exploded onto the scene at Manchester United back in 2016, many of these current Barca talents were kids. Lamine Yamal was around 9 or 10, Gil and Tony Fernandez were 8, Hector Fort was 10, Rooney Bargi was 10 and Dro was 8. Now, they are training side by side with someone they used to admire greatly and play as in video games. Integration going well. As per the report, Rashford's integration into the Barcelona squad has been very positive. He is described as reserved, polite, and hard-working. The 27-year-old attacker has embraced the opportunity to wear the Barcelona shirt, something he fought hard for, even giving up part of his salary to make the move happen. As such, he is determined not to waste the opportunity. While the language barrier limits his communication with some teammates, his attitude has stood out. Rashford knows he arrives as a substitute and an impact player, and he accepts that role. But that does not mean he is content with that role. He is ready to compete and challenge for a starting place in Hansi Flick's team. The board at La Liga giants Barcelona are planning to terminate the contract of Oriol Romeu, once the midfielder has found for himself a new home. That's according to Mundo Deportivo, who have on Wednesday provided an insight into the situation. Midfielder Romeu finds himself in something of a precarious situation at present. Following a loan spell on the books of Girona in the 2024-25 season, the former Southampton man has since returned to base in Barcelona, with a year remaining on his contract. The problem for Romeu, though, is that despite playing a prominent role in pre-season training, he does not feature in the plans of the Blaugrana in any way, shape or form. The likes of Girona and Valencia have been credited with an interest in bringing the 33-year-old in for next season, though only in the case of Romeu becoming available as a free agent. And as alluded to above, once any such agreement has been found with another club, Barca are ready to do their part in affording Romeu a straightforward exit. As per a report from MD, the player has offers that haven't materialized, but when he reaches an agreement he will terminate his contract with Barca. Jeffren Suarez, who famously scored the fifth goal in Barcelona's 5-0 thrashing of Jose Mourinho's Jeffren Suarez, the former Barcelona winger best known for scoring the iconic fifth goal in the 5-0 demolition of Jose Mourinho's Real Madrid in 2010, has officially announced his retirement from football. Now 36, Jeffren most recently played in Thailand with Lampun Warrior. Speaking on the Heladu Escuro podcast via Mundo Deportivo, he reflected on his time at Barca and shared his thoughts on the club's rising sensation Lamine Yamal. While praising Yamal's incredible talent and potential, Jeffren also issued a warning to Barcelona. They must manage the young star's development carefully, especially when it comes to his behavior and emotional maturity. With all the hype and global attention surrounding Yamal, Jeffren stressed the importance of keeping him grounded to ensure he reaches his full potential. Real Madrid in 2010 has officially retired from football. The former winger, who last played in Thailand for Lampun Warrior, spoke candidly on the podcast Heladu Escuro, hat tip Mundo Deportivo, about his time at Barca as well as the club's upcoming superstar Lamine Yamal. Suarez warns Barcelona about Lamine Yamal. There is much excitement at Barcelona over Lamine Yamal, who is seemingly becoming a global superstar. However, Jeffren feels Barcelona must be responsible about taking care of his behavior and maturity. He is 18 years old, and it's normal that he doesn't know the consequences of his actions. But you have to catch him, because if you don't catch him in time, forget it. But I think Barca will do things well, he said. Jeffren compared Yamal's current role in the team to that of Lionel Messi during the club's golden years, offering a word of caution about overhyping any one player. He's not the one who makes the difference. Barcelona have very good players and people talk about Pedri. It's like saying if Xavi and Iniesta hadn't played with Messi, Messi wouldn't be what he is, he added. Speaking of Messi, Jeffren also talked about the Argentine's leadership during his time at the club. He also talked about Pep Guardiola and how he was so protective of his team. Guardiola was the one who touched the sticks, but the one who did everything was the little one, and we all followed him. If we were going to war, Puyol and he were the first ones, he said. You couldn't touch Messi. If you were part of his circle, you could have fun with that, but if not, he added. Jeffren also said that he used to be scared of Barcelona's then captain Puyol, although in a good way. He was exaggerated. I've never met anyone like that in my life. Strong, intelligent, respectful. He was like a warrior. He scared me. Either you got out of the way or he ran over you, he said. Even though they no longer keep in touch, Jeffren still holds him in high regard. Those people never change, he said. Despite positive memories with coaches, Jeffren didn't hold back when discussing Andoni Zubizarreta, the former Barcelona sporting director. Injuries were the reason I left Barcelona, and with that, the club turned its back on me. Not Guardiola but Zubizarreta who ruined my career, he said. I had an offer from Valencia, but they closed the door on me in Spain. When teams from abroad came to inquire, the price was 3 to 4 million euros. When it was a Spanish club, they quoted 5 million euros, he said. Since then I can't stand him. After leaving Barca, I couldn't find myself anywhere. It wasn't until my first year in Thailand that I enjoyed football again, he added. Jeffren, though, still holds Guardiola in high regard as he revealed that he had met him in Qatar. It was a mutual decision between Guardiola and me. The conversation was tough. He told me that if I stayed, I wouldn't play because they were going to sign Alexis Sanchez. Even so, Pep always had a lot of affection for me, he said. Years later, I met him in Qatar when he was managing Bayern, and he said to me, "You're the fastest player I've ever had," and gave me a hug. I'll stick with that, he revealed. Jeffren also praised Luis Enrique, adding, "We called Guardiola the sick man, but I learned a lot from him. The one I'll never forget is Luis Enrique. He's a Guardiola with a more aggressive mentality. My thought of not breaking down comes from him." So, Keulers, the situation at Barcelona is getting crazier by the day. Ter Stegen's €42 million contract roadblock. Rashford becoming a hero to the next generation. Oriol Romeu preparing his exit. And Jeffren's serious warning about managing Lamine Yamal properly. This is more than a transfer window, it's a turning point in the club's future. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Should Barca take action against Ter Stegen? Will Rashford become a long-term star? And is the club doing enough to protect its young talents like Yamal? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell to stay updated with every twist and turn at FC Barcelona. Visca el Barça.